in Anaheim, and they'll try to even up the series with the Angels tonight. 1-1 behind the young arm of Lance McCullers. Will be facing lefty Hector Santiago. This Astros club want to change their luck on the road, and they'll try to do it starting tonight. Don't go anywhere. Astros baseball on Root Sports starts right now.
From Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California, Root Sports brings you Houston Astros baseball. It's the second game of a big three-gamer between the Stros and the Angels. Houston rookie Lance McCullers tries to even the series as he opposes all-star lefty Hector Santiago. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. Tough loss last night. 3-2. Angels pick up game number one. Is it even tougher, Blummer, when your ace, in this case Dallas Keuchel, goes out and takes that loss?
It might be a little bit because you do have the expectation after that win in Oakland coming into Anaheim. That's who you want to start the series off with, is your ace. They did lose it, but they've got great pitching behind them.
The numbers pretty much tell the story over the course of the year in terms of home and road. Obviously, the road play has not been nearly as good.
Yeah, you try and pick the numbers apart and find out what the big difference is on home and on the road for the Houston Astros, because the pitching is not the problem. They've got great ERAs both at home, surprisingly, number one in the AL, and number two on the road. But those numbers on the bottom, 27 home runs are the difference. Now, keep in mind that on the road, they've played 69 games, 72 games at home. So in 3 games, they need to make up 27 home runs to even that out. Not an easy task to do, but they live and die by the home run.
Coming up, Julio Morales looks at the Astros versus left-hand pitching. Then Lance McCullers and the Astros take on the Angels right after the break. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Welcome back into Anaheim, Angels Stadium. It's game 2 of the 3-game series. Angels able to pick up the 3-2 victory last night. As we get set to go tonight, let's check in with Julia.
Thanks, Ash. Yeah, this lineup has changed a lot here recently. It's really evolved over the entire season. A.J. Hinch constantly having conversations with players, talking about their roles on this team. Well, tonight it looks a little different than yesterday because of the left-hander Hector Santiago on the mound tonight for the Angels. And it'll look like this, a little bit like this, over the next few days as they face 5 straight lefties. So let's take a look at some of the guys and how they perform against lefties. Of course, George Springer right off the top. We'll see him first hitting .280 this season. Jose Altuve at .350 career hitter against lefties. Lowry from the right side of the bat, when he's feeling comfortable with that thumb, is good. Of course, Jake Marisnick in the lineup tonight. We might see a little bit more of Jake Marisnick because of that swing he's got going on, but showing us some power, really. And then, of course, facing so many lefties. I mentioned 5 lefties. So tomorrow, Andrew Heaney, a southpaw, and then they go to Texas, which is a huge series, guys, but they'll face 3 straight right out of the gate against the Rangers. Back up to you.
Thanks, Julia. Good numbers on those left-handers, and we've got some important breaking tweet to give you guys. This is somebody who understands that his ball club is in first place. Yes, it's football season, but Jason is happy that everybody's amped about college football. He's just waiting for some Astros baseball, which I think is a beautiful thing. It's early in the college season. Pay attention to that first place team.
And now it's time to take a look at the Astros starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For A.J. Hinch, it's George Springer in the top spot. He's in right. Second baseman Jose Altuve and shortstop Carlos Correa follow. In the middle of the order, center fielder Carlos Gomez. He's been swinging it well. Jed Lowry's at third base, and the DH is Evan Gattis. The bottom 3, Marwin Gonzalez at first. Doing the catching, Hank Conger. Jake Marisnick gets the start in left.
Left-hander Hector Santiago for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. See his numbers on the season quite well. His last 13 starts against AL West opponents. He is 6-1 with a 1.89 ERA against those AL West opponents.
And the first pitch of the game has been thrown. 1 ball and no strikes as George Springer leads it off. George hitting .257 and now a 2-0 count. Santiago is from Newark, New Jersey, 27 years of age. 90 degrees here at game time, and it has been another hot one in Southern California. There's your swing from George Springer.
Yeah, let it fly. It seems like these Astros see lefties pretty good. Going to see some fastballs from Hector Santiago. He crossfires like crazy.
Yeah, to go along with Jared Weaver, they've got a couple of guys who'll bring it from there. Deep in the hole, Ibar with the play and a good strong throw to get Springer, and the first out of the ball game.
Defensive alignment for the Angels. In the outfield, ex-Ranger David Murphy in left, Mike Trout in center, Cole Calhoun in right, David Freese at third base. You just saw Eric Ibar with a great play at short, Taylor Featherston at second, C.J. Cron at first, and behind the plate, Carlos Perez working with Hector Santiago.
With 1 out, bases empty, it brings up Jose Altuve. Altuve didn't waste much time last night, coming up with career hit number 800 as he doubled off the left field wall. Shot past the third baseman. He's at it again tonight. Solid base hit into left field. So with 1 out, Carlos Correa will come to the plate with Altuve and the speed aboard.
That just validates the point that Julia made coming out to start this game. Jose Altuve, a career .350 against left-handed pitching.
Altuve leads the American League in stolen bases. So that speed threat aboard. And Carlos Correa now hitting .274. Altuve on the move, the throw down not in time. And Perez behind the plate throws very well. So Jose Altuve picks one up right here on Santiago. Number 38 for Altuve to lead the league.
You see Jose pop off the bag. Let's see. Great jump on the left-hander going first pitch immediately. Carlos throws extremely well. He does get in there. Does he pop off? Uh-oh. That's so disappointing.
And the umpires are going to review this.
And he's going to be called out.
Guys have got to stop popping up off the bags like this. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that stolen base is going to be taken away from Altuve.
Disappointing.
So the umpires confer, chat with the guys up in New York. And I have a feeling, as you say, when this is all said and done, Carlos Correa is going to be at the plate with 2 outs and nobody on base.
Super Mo, brought to you by Mattress Firm, is going to show you that the tag stays on. Featherston does a good job of leaving that tag on, and that is how guys are being taught. And right there, the glove's on, cleats are off the bag, he's out.
Fans here in Anaheim getting a peek up on the big board, and
gosh, that's tough.
that one didn't take long. Altuve is out, caught stealing, and so that's 2 outs here in the first inning. So take away that stolen base. One minute and 7 seconds on that review.
It's longer than I think they needed. I wonder if the players' union's ever going to. I mean, granted, I agree with you. You have to teach guys to slide to stay on the bag.
Just stay down. You don't need to pop up on that particular play. Would be, if I'm a coach talking to the guys, that's probably what I would say.
Just tough.
Correa at the plate has a 3-0 count. Carlos Gomez waits on deck. And a strike called.
Could they change how you score it? I mean, it's a caught stealing, but he stole the bag.
Yeah.
How long before the players' union goes, look, we're getting numbers taken away from our guys when they try and head into arbitration or something?
Another strike, this one on the inside edge. If, for example, you stretch a single trying to get a double and you hit the bag and go by, you only get a single if you get tagged out. So kind of the same scenario. Just inside, Correa survives that close pitch. Draws the 2-out walk.
Take a look at that last pitch on our strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson. And Hector Santiago will walk, guys. His last start out, good take right there, even though the pitch before was called a strike in a similar spot. The last start out for Hector Santiago, he gave up no earned runs while walking 6 in 6 innings against the Rangers.
The Astros start the night a game and a half in front of Texas in the American League West. These Angels are 4.5 back. Good aggressive swing by Gomez as he fouls it. Oh, and 1 the count. Now we've got a cameraman walking on the field of play behind home plate. And the home plate umpire,
Excuse me,
Tom
sir.
Hallion, says, what are you doing? How about another path?
Told me to take a right at the end of the hallway and go out the door.
Carlos Gomez has hit in 5 straight. So the Astros going to have to find the winning ways here on the road. Just in the top of the first inning. Ground ball to third. Handled by Freese. He'll get the force out at second. And that'll do it. The Astros get a hit and a walk. And yet come up with nothing as Altuve was eventually caught stealing. Half an inning of play, scoreless. Mike Scioscia, the longtime skipper, lines him up with Cole Calhoun in the top spot, followed by center fielder Mike Trout and Albert Pujols. The DH bats third. Middle three, David Murphy in left, first baseman C.J. Cron, and at shortstop Eric Ibar. On the bottom three, David Freese, the third baseman Carlos Perez doing the catching, and at second base Taylor Featherston.
Right-hander Lance McCullers going for those Houston Astros. He's got great numbers against these Los Angeles Angels. He's 1-0 with a 1.38 ERA and 11 punch-outs in 13 innings against these Angels in 2 starts.
So Lance McCullers, young man, has performed extremely well on the big league level. Gets the bottom of the knees for the first pitch. 0-1 on Calhoun. The Astros can already look up to the scoreboard and see the Texas Rangers leading as they host the Oakland A's. Fourth inning, 1-0 Texas. Mike Napoli with a dinger. McCullers out in front, 0-2. Well, it's pretty simple for the Astros. They'll check in on what the Texas Rangers are doing, but it's all about what's going on the field right here with the LA Angels of Anaheim. Angels 6-4 in their last 10. The Astros 4-6 in that span. The Astros are a rather amazing dichotomy with that great home record, 48-24, and yet 28-41 on the road. Fly ball shallow in left field. Jake Marisnick is called off as Carlos Correa is able to make the play. Little basket catch to get it done.
And that's that shift being employed against Cole Calhoun. That means the left fielder, the opposite side fielder of the left-handed hitter, Jake Marisnick, is going to be playing a little bit more shallow. But with Jed Lowry playing a little bit deeper at third base, these 3 guys converging in one small area. I think it's a good idea that everybody cleared out for that guy.
So 1 out. Didn't come easy here in the first inning. Mike Trout comes to the plate. Carlos Correa makes the plays. He is such an exceptional young talent. .292 that batting average for Trout. 34 home runs. Not doing much damage here since the All-Star break. For Lance McCullers, his 4th start now since being recalled from Double-A on August 23rd. Good looking slider. It's 1-2. Second stint of the year for Lance. That with the Astros. Made his major league debut. It's hard to recall that it was this far back, but May 18th.
Ooh, good pitch.
Where'd that one miss for you?
Man, that was a good 2-strike pitch.
Mike Trout has just turned into a taking machine again, and it's costing him. He's known as a guy who handles the breaking ball very well, drives it to right and right center.
Well, he likes that pitch low. Most breaking pitches and sliders end up down. He just golfs them out of here.
Fastball driven to right field. Back with room is Springer. And out number 2.
Take a look around Anaheim Stadium. Jake Marisnick gets out there against the lefty. Carlos Gomez and George Springer, of course, in the outfield. Jed Lowry at third. Carlos Correa at shortstop. Up the middle, Jose Altuve at second. Marwin Gonzalez, of course, again at first base. And Hank Conger doing the catching.
Crowd still filling in here in Anaheim. Albert Pujols bothered by a sore, apparently quite sore, big right toe. Grounds one left side, shift on, and it finds its way through the shortstop spot. It'll be a 2-out single and bring up the cleanup man, David Murphy.
Just a well-struck ground ball. I thought Altuve had a shot at this for a second. He just snuck past him.
Well, Pujols aboard. Occasionally they'll call those guys base cloggers. They're very hard to drive in when unable to run, and that's where Pujols is right now.
Rolling roadblock.
Imagine you hit a gapper for a clean double and Pujols maybe still chugging into third base. Lance McCullers leads All-American League rookies in ERA. In opponents' batting average against, that's at .224. And strikeouts per 9 innings. He's striking out almost 9.5 hitters per 9 innings.
Another Astro with a bright future.
Well, how about the emergence of Carlos Correa and Lance McCullers in the same season?
Pretty impressive stuff. Credit to the front office, their draft, and everybody that works in the minor leagues getting these guys ready to perform here at the big league level.
Albert Pujols is now asking first base umpire tonight, Dan Bellino, about Marwin Gonzalez, who was actually, it appeared, laying his glove on Pujols' back.
When did baseball get so touchy-feely?
Murphy fouls it off, hitting .288. Among American League pitchers with at least 90 innings this year, Lance McCullers is 6th in ERA and in strikeouts per 9 innings. And he's 9th in opponents' batting average against. All of that at a very tender age. Gets the ground ball hit to Marwin. He'll go to the bag. That'll do it. A hit. And they leave a man. We played 1 inning, a scoreless ball game.
Quote of the day, it's Jared Weaver on the Astros. There's a couple of guys on their team that are free swingers, and I know that. I hate to say you use their aggressiveness against them. At the same time, you need to locate pitches and do things to limit those guys' aggressive swings. That is a young, what used to be a young flamethrower, turning into a good pitcher, adjusting to the teams he's playing against.
Yeah, we talked about it last night. Even with stuff very similar to the soft stuff we saw last night, 18-game winner last year.
Yep, but that's because he's a little brain work involved.
And I wonder how much that enormous crossfire of his impacts the hitters.
I think it does. Because we talked about deception yesterday with Mike Fiers for the Houston Astros. Yep. Doesn't have an electric fastball. He throws 88 to 90 miles an hour, but good deception.
Jed Lowry leads it off here in the second inning. He'll be followed by Evan Gattis and Marwin Gonzalez. Fastball just at 89 miles an hour off the inside edge. 2-1 the count. They're in the top of the 5th inning now in Arlington. 1-0 Rangers lead over the Oakland A's. Pop up on the right side, and that It'll find its way about 10 rows back. All-star this year, Hector Santiago. Fly ball into right center field. Calhoun gliding to his right to make the play. And the first out of the second inning.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Pretty ballpark here in Anaheim. It's gone through a number of changes through the years. Evan Gattis at the plate, hitting .238. Leads the team with those 23 home runs. One of 11 Astros with double-digit dingers this year. Tied with the 2004 Detroit Tigers as the only teams to have 11 hitters in double digits with long balls. Jake Marisnick getting the start tonight, has 9 home runs. So get Jake going with that big swing, and the Astros will lead in that category all time. The big thing right now, though, is picking up W's. Strike on the inside edge.
Well, we talked about it in the open. Home runs help those W's. They are 63 and 39 when they hit a home run.
Well, they did homer last night, a 2-run shot. In fact, the Astros scored the only 2 earned runs of the ball game, as the Angels picked up 3 unearned runs early against Dallas Keuchel, his own error the culprit, and the Angels hung on to win it. Shot up the middle. Evan Gattis has a 1-out single. Second hit for the Astros, the other picked up by Altuve. With 1 out, it brings up Marwin Gonzalez.
Welcome back to the lineup, Evan Gattis. To that day off, feeling pretty good. Gets the head out on this one nicely. Shot back up the middle.
So Evan has now hit safely in his last couple of games. Marwin Gonzalez has hit in 5 straight as he stands in. Awfully good numbers for a guy who figured to be kind of that role player off the bench this year. Turning into much more of a regular now. Hank Conger waits on deck. Marwin went 1 for 3 in last night's game against the Angels. As the timeout is called at home plate. Right at the bottom of the knees.
It's a great location, especially after you paint the top of the zone, go down and away. Some serious coverage.
Marwin offers on that up and away fastball. 1-2 the count. Hector Santiago, as you mentioned, will walk quite a few hitters. But it doesn't look like he's, at least watching him tonight, falling behind or walking guys because of being really wild. It looks like he's a real nibbler on the corners. He's tried to work that inside edge on the right-hand hitters quite a bit. Slider drilled and handled by Freese, and a nice reaction at first base as Evan Gattis gets back to the bag.
Just need a little more elevation. Well struck, though. That's what Marwin Gonzalez has been doing lately. He's hitting lasers all over the place.
So Hank Conger, the switch hitter, batting right-handed. Good looking breaking ball from Santiago. The Astros with a pair of hits. Angels have one. Albert Pujols got that one. Toronto Blue Jays are laying it on the Yankees today. They're playing a doubleheader. In the first game in 11 innings, the Blue Jays down the Yankees 9-5. You got a little date night going on here?
Why not? Beautiful night. Beautiful ballpark. Good game waiting to happen.
Conger fouls another. And in the second game, Toronto's leading over the Yankees 10-4. Blue Jays are trying to basically eliminate the Yankees from that race to win the division. With the win in the first game, the separation became 3.5 games. And the Jays trying now to make that 4.5 over the Yankees. Two and two the count. We've already seen that Carlos Perez can officially throw from behind the plate. So that running game for the Astros likely to be slowed a bit. Altuve had the bag he tried to steal in the first inning, but popped up off the bag. They reviewed it after a safe call, and Altuve eventually ruled out. And now 3-2. That'll put Gaddis in motion at first.
Good AB by Conger. See if Santiago can't leave one over the plate for him. Let him drive it in a gap. See if we can get Evan on his ox.
Doesn't have a horse, huh?
Get all the way around.
Santiago brings the 3-2. Hit high and deep to left field. Murphy going back at the track, at the wall, drifting, and makes the catch right up at the top of the wall. So the Astros and Hank Conger come that close, and yet it's just a fly ball to left to end the second inning. Scoreless game.
Two. In 2016, Astros season tickets are on sale now. Guarantee your seats for a potential 2015 postseason run by reserving your 2016 season tickets today. Visit Astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Ash?
Thank you, Julia.
We've got a nice little breeze up here in the booth, Julia. I guess it comes from a fan, but it really doesn't matter.
You got a fan?
No, but you do, and I saw it show up a little earlier, and I do refer to your fan as it, and it's a very nice fan. Set for the bottom of the second inning, Lance McCullers falls behind on C.J. Cron. Has that very good fastball. McCullers, of course, drafted by the Astros in the supplemental first round of 2012. 41st overall pick that year. And the cool story is that his dad, who pitched in the major league and very successfully, was also a 41st overall pick. That back in 1982.
Stay there all day long with that.
2-2 the count. Tom Hallion, the umpire behind home plate. He's the crew chief. Dan Bellino at first. At second, it's Bruce Dreckman. And Alfonso Marquez is down at third. McCullers with that body language that says, where was this?
Might have been that upper part of the zone. It was.
Good grief. Are we going to call that high all year long? Line shot into left center field, drops in front of Gomez. So given one more pitch, Cron comes through with a base hit. He's at first, nobody out for Eric Ibar.
That's the thing. You don't get that call. You got to throw those extra pitches, and sometimes those extra pitches get hit.
I just don't know. You talked about it earlier in the year after talking to one of the umpires about how they are reviewed nightly and they see exactly what they got right and what they missed, and how that pitch continues to be high for the umpires. Ibar, switch hitter, batting left-handed.
Well, look, you can be reviewed all year long on every pitch that you throw. Whether or not there's a consequence for you not calling a strike, you're going to keep calling the same strike zone. There's no consequence.
Yeah, I guess with no consequence, that's right. That sounds a bit defiant, and maybe that is the attitude sometimes.
Well, umpires have perfect strike zones and perfect attitudes about the game. They don't take anything into account. We all know they've got personalities, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But if they're going to have those spring training meetings and saying this is the strike zone we're going to call, then you better call it. And if I complain about it, you can't get mad at me.
Fair ball over the bag at third, down the line. Crow comes into third base, offline, and that enables Cron to get in. All the while, Ibar digging into second base. So a leadoff single followed by the double right over the bag at third base. And the Angels in business. Runners at second and third. Nobody out here in the second.
Nice little slap double. It almost looked like it was on the other side of the bag, but gets the call. Pretty good job by C.J. Cron challenging Jake Marisnick right here. It's tough to pick up that ball off the wall out there because we know Jake's got a pretty good arm.
Yeah, he does. Infield stays back at short and second. They'll give up the run to ensure that they get an out. Seven-hitter David Freese at the plate. It's a big spot now for Lance McCullers, maybe to exploit the strikeout game that is such a big part of what he does. Line drive, base hit. Cron scores. Ibar held at third base. That throw off line from Gomez. But runners at first and third, still nobody out. 3 consecutive Angels hits. And it brings up 8-hitter, the catcher, Carlos Perez. A rough second inning here for Lance McCullers. All coming after that would-be strike 3 on Cron. Turned into another pitch and a base hit.
kind of in watching Lance McCullers over the season, he's a fiery guy, high intensity. Things don't go his way or he feels he should get a call. It almost seems like he tries to throw the ball a little bit harder, and sometimes when pitchers try and overthrow, they lose their location a little bit in some of these pitches that are getting hit left up out over the plate. But the aggressiveness, now you're seeing a different approach, as last night you saw the Angels hitters taking on Dallas Keuchel, making him throw more pitches, whereas they're aggressive on the fastball against McCullers in this start.
Crone, Ibar, and Freeze all with hits here in the inning. McCullers is getting ahead. He's throwing strikes tonight. Angels already with 4 hits, however, against Lance. At the age of 21, how valuable is this year and the experience for Lance McCullers?
Huge. It's going to go a long way.
Chopper to third. No play to the plate from Lowry, as that play was right in front of him. The run scores as Ibar crosses. 2-0 Angels on top. RBI ground out for Perez into second base is Freeze.
Can't even get a break on a ground ball.
You played third, a load. What's your reaction on this play?
He just felt that he had, well, I did play a lot. Jed Lowry has not played a lot. Therefore, he is still learning on the job right here, and this is just, he felt it was a tough play. I actually give some credit to Eric Ibar, who was a salty vet in this league, running on the inside part of the bag, taking away the throwing lane for Jed Lowry to Hank Conger.
Second baseman Taylor Featherston at the plate. Houston area guy, hitting 165. Does that leave a third baseman feeling like, I can't thread the needle here, and therefore you make the other play?
It's a second inning. You throw that ball away and things spiral out of control early and you lose your pitcher early in this game, you're going to be severely disappointed. As an infielder, when things are going a little awry, you got to make sure you get outs, and he didn't feel that he was 100% at getting that out at home plate, chose the out at first base.
When that play was presented to you, was it helpful when the catcher stepped out in front of home plate toward the pitcher's mound?
Oh, yeah. You got to make a big target. Yeah, the inside part of the diamond.
Of course, Jed Lowry, as you say, much more accustomed to playing at shortstop. 1 out, Freeze at second, 2 runs in. And the strikeout of Featherston. First strikeout now from McCullers. 2 outs in the inning. Back to the top with Cole Calhoun.
Good heater. You know Lance McCullers has plenty of gasoline in that tank. Climbs the ladder on him, punches him out. 96 on the gun.
A.J. Hinch out to the hill.
These have got to be interesting conversations, because you look at Lance's mouth, that thing is moving a mile a minute. You know AJ's trying to get a word in there edgewise, trying to calm the youngster down and make him realize he has to go after Cole Calhoun right here. If he doesn't, he's going to have to attack Mike Trout.
I wondered for a second, as AJ kind of lingered there on the hill, if he was waiting to just have a word with Tom Hallion.
It's always a possibility, too.
It's a top of the order. And Calhoun is the hot hitter of the bunch right now. Mike Trout waiting on deck. So for one of those rare times, the conversation might have said, if you walk Calhoun, so be it. Go after Trout at that point.
Saw Calhoun go the other way with the shift on with the runner in scoring position last night.
It was Calhoun hitting that little pop fly down the left field side that required a very nice play by Carlos Correa to haul it in. Correa in that shift again, and boy, when you see him set up like this, you realize how far he had to go to catch that little pop. And now 3-0.
Interesting 2-0 changeup, so you wonder if they were even trying to pitch to Cole Calhoun in this at bat. They were probably trying to just pitch around him a little bit without throwing the intentional walk out there. How often do you see that with a guy like Mike Trout sitting in the on-deck circle?
Should I say, one of the very rare times you would even consider that, but that's the dynamic of the two hitters at the moment.
Now he threw a 2-0 changeup. Now he has a 3-1 count, which is a hitter's count. See if he comes back with that changeup to Cole Calhoun.
Well, if that is the choice, Hank Conger's got to be very aware of blocking here. Instead, the heat at 95.
Came right after him. That is mano y mano in a hitter's count.
Brent Strom very pleased with that location. Oakland A's have laid it on the Rangers now. They're in the 5th inning. Oakland put a 5 spot on the board, lead it 5-1. Fly ball center field coming on Gomez. He'll get there and make the play. And McCullers gets out of any further damage for the Angels. They get a pair on 3 hits and leave a man. 2-0. Halos on top.
Doors have teamed up to help you show your team spirit. Free Houston Astros Crush City yard signs are now available at participating Houston area Academy Sports and Outdoors location while supplies last. For a list of participating stores, visit rootsports.com/yard signs. Quantities are limited, so get yours fast before they run out. And if you go pick one up and put one in your yard, we want to see a pic of it. So send us your photos at Root Sports Southwest, or any of us. We like to see them too, guys.
Thank you, Julia. Jake Marisnick leads off here in the 3rd inning. 2-0 Angels. Put together 3 consecutive hits. Crone, Ibar, and Freeze to come up with those 2 runs. And then a ground out by Perez, plating the second of the 2.
Come on, Jake, hit a homer.
He would be number 12 for the Astros.
That would be awesome.
Good looking fastball at the knees, 89. And then you consider the stuff of Lance McCullers going 94 to 96 here. Strike 3 called. So Marisnick frozen. First strikeout recorded by Santiago. Back to the top with George Springer.
Doing a good job of locating that fastball. Missed his spot by about 1.5 feet. gets the call. It's actually a pretty good job by Carlos Perez, just holding his ground and just throwing the glove at it and sticking it. Sometimes you don't have to be perfect to get outs. Oh.
Please.
I'm going to hit with this zone.
What is that?
I don't know. You just eliminate the top half.
Is that high? Is that inside?
Oh, yeah. Of course it is.
The outside portion of the area. Ball and a strike on George.
Say you caught a portion of the left-hander's box.
And that's a look at the changeup of Santiago. And the Angels may have, I think, fair to say, caught a break in the second inning in putting together those 3 hits to come up with the 2 runs.
Yeah, we'll have a chance to replay Ibar's hit a little bit, because our guys on our truck showed us a replay of it, and I'm questioning whether or not it was fair.
Ground ball up the middle. Springer finds a hole. He said earlier in the year there are no hits up the middle. Well, he just got one. 1 out single. He's 1 for 2. It brings up Jose Altuve, and we'll take a look at that Ibar at bat.
And granted, the camera's going to be off a little bit, but look at where this ball, that's as it goes by the bag. I mean, it would have had to have caught a sliver of an edge of that base.
You see where that bounced? And, of course, that's behind the bag, but not by a whole lot. And that kind of tells you some things. You're talking, I don't know, I'd be guessing 4 or 5 feet behind the bag. It was, to me, to be a 1.5 foot foul.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I didn't question it at the time because it happened kind of quick and we didn't have a chance to look at it, but guys in the truck were on it, showed it to us, and that's when I started to question it. Nonetheless, good time for the Astros to get things going.
Now, do keep in mind, the base is the foul pole. So we're not implying that, well, it bounced foul beyond the base, so it's got to be a foul ball. It's just the distance at which it was foul. Altuve puts it in the air. Mike Trout with the catch. Second out of the inning. It brings up Carlos Correa. Correa drew a walk in the first. Still trying to get dark here in Anaheim. Hector Santiago walked 6 in his last start, a win, and 6 shutout innings against the Texas Rangers, but walked 6. And in recent starts, he has just been offering the free passes at a steady rate. So we'll just go backwards in his start. 6 against the Rangers. And then start talking about the number of walks in the starts prior to that. 3, 3, 4, and 3. So just a lot of walks issued. Shot on the right side, but handled by Featherston. Takes his time, gets the out. That'll do it. Carlos Correa robbed here in the 3rd inning. The Astros get a hit by Springer and leave him through 2.5. 2-0 Angels lead it.
news for today. This Astros from Inglewood, California. He helped win the College World Series in 1987, and he was drafted in 87 by the Houston Astros. Tweet us your best guess. We'll tell you who he is later on.
You got it yet, Ash?
No, I don't.
Come on.
You know what? This is falling into your cradle, though.
87. Who won the College World Series in 1987?
I don't know. Fresno State.
I say it's a good chance it's a California team. Arizona State.
Yeah, Julia, I think, wants to give us a little more.
No, I want to show you. I asked for people to tweet in their signs. Look at this. They are tweeting away. Crush City signs in the yard already.
Nice. Very nice. Bottom of the third inning, 2-0 Angels lead it. Mike Trout leads it off. 2-3-4 coming up for the Angels. Trout, Pujols, and Murphy. Fly ball on the right side. Ball and a strike. McCullers has been what appears to be sharp and throwing hard. And yet the Angels putting together 3 straight hits in the second inning to come up with a pair of runs. Very well spotted. Not many times at all where you'd see a team possibly pitch around Cole Calhoun to consider facing Mike Trout, but it looked a bit like that as Calhoun was retired to end the second inning. Trout hit his 34th home run of the season this past Sunday. Shoots one right side, handled nicely by Marwin, and feeds on to McCullers, out number 1.
It was a great play all the way around. Marwin Gonzalez has had to have been working his tail off at first base because he's looking somewhat natural over there on these plays. And I give it credit to Lance McCullers.
Yeah.
That was a tough hop for Marwin going to his left. Makes the grab, turns around, and puts himself in a good position to lead Lance McCullers into first base. That was beautiful.
To my eye, Marwin looks like a guy who's been playing first base for a long time successfully. Albert Pujols at the plate, had a base hit in the first inning. Shot went through the shift on the left side. We got more of the signs showing up. Nice.
Representing.
You know, and Julia only has to ask, and moments later, it just comes firing in.
She is the powerful Julia Morales.
Two and one the count. How many guys are throwing a changeup at 89 miles an hour? Lance McCullers does.
Guys that can bring the noise.
One more game on the West Coast tomorrow. And then the Astros will head on to Arlington, Texas for 4 very big ones against the Rangers. That game tomorrow, 2:35 start Houston time. It'll be Mike Fiers against left-hander Andrew Heaney. Again, 2:35 Central on that start time. Chopper to third. And this one is called foul. Three-two count. .35 dingers on the year for Albert Pujols. Just continues to hit the long ball. Hits it sharply. Correa's there. Has time and gets the out. Albert Pujols just hobbling down the line, and quite a play by Carlos Correa.
Ball was annihilated. Low stinger. Carlos Correa going into that figure four. Makes a nice play, pops up, knows he has plenty of time with Albert Pujols running. That did not look comfortable at all, watching Albert go down the first baseline.
Was that Tiger 10 years ago with the stinger?
Low stinger in that wind. It's a wind cutter. You know who had a good shot like that was Darren Erstad. Played golf with him, and he could hit that low just burner.
Hey, what? That took some courage to hang in there.
Makes you appreciate how hard these guys can hit a baseball, because you're playing shortstop. You're a little bit further away, obviously, than the corner guys, and it can still get on you in a hurry.
Yeah, he's a good one. Murphy 0 for 1. Grounded to Marwin Gonzalez to end the first inning. David Murphy in the major leagues now 10 years. He's approaching 1,000 hits, has 936 at the start of play. And another one of the Houston guys. 3-1 the count. Hot shot, and it's at Correa again. This one kicks off Correa, and we'll see how this is ruled for David Murphy.
It's going to be a tough error. That ball was hit hard. It just bounced. The way it bounced off the pitcher's mound on its way to getting to Carlos Correa is what created that error. They gave him a hit. Normally, if you're in front of a ground ball like this,
yeah,
scorekeepers like to give that error to the shortstop or the infielder. That's a tough play, because your initial read is off the bat, and then you see it bouncing off the mound, and it creates all kinds of action on that baseball once it gets to you.
Diving stop by Correa. He'll get the out at first with a terrific play to rob C.J. Cron. And that'll do it in the third inning. The Angels just taking one hot shot after another at Correa.
Home runs are important to the Houston Astros. They got one last night from their 4-hole hitter, Carlos Gomez. Kid takes a rather large hack frequently. Got a pitch down in the zone and launched it out of here into the night for a 2-run jack.
And Carlos leads off here in the 4th inning. 4-5-6 for Houston. Gomez grounded into a fielder's choice to end the 1st inning. Ball and a strike on Carlos. And that inside corner, Santiago continues to try to work in there. Gomez comes in with a 5-game hitting streak, 8 for 20 in that span. Gets some serious hacks. In fact, he's had extra base hits in 5 consecutive games.
Ooh.
The last Astros hitter with a 6-game streak of extra base hits, Brian Bogusevic, back in 2011. And the leadoff walk. So the Astros get a base runner to start the 4th inning. We check in with Julia once again.
Grab your boots, belt buckles, and cowboy hats and head out to Minute Maid Park for Boots, Scootin' Barbecue on September 19th. This event features a pregame street festival, barbecue contest, and country music. Fans must have a valid ticket to the A's Astros games to enter. For more info, visit astros.com/BBQ. Ash.
Thank you, Julia. Julia, you got some boots with the spiked heels you can wear to the ballpark?
Spiked heels?
On your boots, yeah.
I have boots. I have some pretty cool boots, too. I don't know about spiked heel boots, though.
There's got to be such a thing somewhere, right?
I don't know. Julia's, I mean, she's true blue Texan.
I've got several
I'm sure
pair of
she's
boots.
got boots.
Oh, yeah. I can't decide which pair I want to wear.
There you go.
Or which closet to draw them from. Pitch outside, bluff from behind the plate by Perez. Nobody out. Jed Lowry at the plate. Now 0 for his last 14. About time to break out. They're in the top of the 6th inning now in Arlington, where the Athletics lead over the Rangers 5-1. Kansas City dropped the bomb on Baltimore today, 14-6 final. Toronto Blue Jays have taken a pair from the Yankees. 9-5. Well, they're actually in the top of the 9th in that 2nd game. 10-7 Toronto. Mike Trout with the play, first out of the 4th. It'll bring up Evan Gattis.
Got some tweets coming in for that name, that Astro. Phil Nevin did play in the College World Series. Actually was in the same World Series when he was in there. Adam Everett, a good guess too. Wasn't drafted in '87, I know that. Al Osuna. Getting closer.
I had Al Osuna briefly on the independent team, the Rio Grande Valley White Wings.
Wow.
At one point, trying to make an entry back into the major leagues at the time. He decided the road accommodations weren't exactly up to his standard. Didn't stay long.
That is definitely a question you got to ask yourself. How bad do I want it?
We did nothing but 5-star hotels,
and what sliding scale was that on?
Yeah. Right off the end of the bat, Trout comes on. 2 outs here in the 4th. Now, I mentioned that Kansas City score over Baltimore 14-9. Mike Moustakas had a mere 9 RBIs in that one.
Going all J.R. Tolles on those guys.
What's his mark?
I think it's 9 for the Houston Astros. It's a club record, I believe.
Leadoff walk to Gomez, now 2 fly balls for outs. And Marwin comes to the plate. Marwin lined to third base in the second inning. Marwin wouldn't be a bad pick to talk long ball with right about now.
That's tough here. This is a place that's tough for right-handers to hit the ball out.
It is. Especially out toward left center as this one's popped on the right side. Second baseman Featherston with the call. He'll make the play. And 3 straight outs following the leadoff walk through 3.5. 2-0 Angels.
Twelfth, 1976. At age 53, Manny Minoso becomes the oldest player to get a hit in a regular season game as he singles in 3 at-bats as the designated hitter for the White Sox. Not to mention he got to wear shorts and a collared shirt while playing a big league ball game. 53? Kidding me?
So who was the pitcher who gave up the hit to the 53-year-old?
Gaylord Perry. I don't know. No, I don't know. That's wow. That's incredible.
A little bit of a surprise that he stumbled coming around second. It really is amazing. Manny Minoso.
How does the training staff feel when you sign that guy?
I'm trying to remember, was that, you may have just said it, four decades that he played in?
At least.
Eric Ibar at the plate, 6-hitter, leading off here in the 4th inning. And he was a big part of the 2-run second inning as he doubled allegedly over the bag at third. That was the middle hit of the 3, Crone, Ibar, and David Freese. McCullers falls immediately behind, 3-0. And Eric Ibar, one of those guys who likely takes a bid. Dallas Keuchel taking the loss last night. 3 unearned runs against Dallas as Lance finds the strike zone. And that Gold Glove couldn't come up with the play on the one hopper back to the hill. And it cost him big time.
Yeah, that doesn't happen all the time.
But he now leads the American League in ERA as this one is shot to right field. George Springer able to make the play and out number 1. Third baseman David Freese comes to the plate. Freese picked up RBI number 48 with that second inning single. And Lance gets in front. It's a changeup, and Lance has had a hard time spotting that one well tonight. David Freese, now 33 years of age. Boy, he's had a lot of postseason experience.
Playing with the Cardinals will do that.
He was the MVP in the 2011 NLCS with the Cardinals. Not sure how he won that award. He hit just .545 and had 3 home runs. And then was the MVP for the Cardinals in the World Series, hitting .348. Had 3 doubles, a triple, and a dinger. Correa with the play, and not in time, but what a play by Carlos Correa.
He's nowhere in the vicinity of this ground ball. The athleticism, the body control, the awareness on the field. A ball is hit like that, you have to sit back and just watch and see what's about to happen, because that play was a heck of a lot closer than I thought it was ever going to be. So you see some guys try and go ahead and make the throw on this. They air it out into the stands, or they throw a ground ball to first base. I mean, this is a legit one hop on the money.
Yeah, I think David Freese knew going down the line this play was going to wind up fairly close. Second hit for Freese. He's aboard with 1 out for Carlos Perez. It was Perez hitting that ground ball to Lowry at third base with Eric Ibar a base runner at third. Ibar came on the play, and Lowry chose to get the out at first base. That's the second Angels run. It's been steady mid-90s for Lance McCullers. We mentioned it last night. Carlos Perez, the former Astros farmhand, now settling in as that everyday guy behind the plate for the Angels. Numerous times tonight at 96 for Lance.
He's going to take a break. There's I believe a beach ball in center field. Carlos Gomez has got to run down. No, that's an electric arm. And that's, I mean, that 96 consistently is why some people may wonder or ask, could you move a guy like Lance McCullers into the bullpen? But my argument is, if the guy can throw 96 miles an hour for 7 innings, let him keep doing it.
Which is exactly what Lance does. And I think if you let him go with that pitch count, he'd do it all night long. A little tapper first base side on the breaking ball. McCullers will get the out at first base. Second out of the inning, into second base David Freese. And now the 9-hitter Taylor Featherston comes to the plate.
Register now for the opportunity to purchase tickets to potential 2015 Astros postseason games at Minute Maid Park. You won't want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Sign up at astros.com/postseason tickets.
David Freese at second, 2 outs. Featherston struck out in the second inning. That's the only strikeout picked up by Lance McCullers tonight. Surprising with the stuff that he's had. Bottom of the 6th inning in Arlington, 5-1 Oakland A's. Red Sox down Tampa Bay 10-4. Mentioned the Yankees about to fall for a second time today at the hands of the Toronto Blue Jays, who are trying to take a 4.5 game lead in the American League East. Postponed in Cleveland, the Tigers and Indians. Top of the 5th inning in Seattle. Mariners lead it 4-0 over Colorado. Fly ball to right. Springer toward the line and now crosses into foul territory to make the play. That'll do it for the Angels. No runs a hit. They leave a man at second. We played a full 4 innings, 2-0. Angels lead it. Presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by the new Stewart Cadillac. Luxury and style with downtown convenience. See us at stewartcadillac.com. A lot of great sights here in Anaheim at the ballpark.
We're in Anaheim?
Suburb of L.A. Hank Conger leads it off for the Astros, trailing 2-0. 8-9-1. Conger takes a very close pitch, called a ball. Hank flying to left field, his only at bat, that ending the second. So it's a final now. Toronto taking 2 straight over the Yankees.
It's a long day in New York.
4.5 games. The Yankees are back. Here's a drive to left field and deep. Going back to make a very nice running grab over the shoulder, David Murphy. And the first out of the inning.
Ball stung by Conger. He's got a couple of good passes at Hector Santiago. And how about David Murphy out there making a heck of a play? Toughest play is that one hit right directly over your head. He does a good job of getting the hips turned around. Moves back nicely. He knows he's got plenty of room out there to work with. Never took his eye off it. Nice.
Remember that first fly out by Conger in the second inning? Put Murphy right up against the wall as Murphy reached up to haul it in. Jake Marisnick, strikeout victim in the third inning. Only strikeout picked up this evening by Hector Santiago. No runs on 3 hits for Houston, 2 runs on 6 hits for these Angels. Well, that's quite a feat against the stuff we've been watching from Lance McCullers. Broken bat dribbler.
He might have gotten that one off the end of the bat. Got a little quick on 91 miles an hour.
91's about top end this evening for Santiago. What we got going on in the news and notes around the major leagues? David Ortiz has hit his 500. It's not a bad figure. Mike Moustakas, the 9 ribbies. Drew Storm, broken thumb. Little bit of
how he did
anger
it?
going on there.
Yeah, I've seen that way too many times. David Ortiz hit 2 home runs today. He hit 499 and 500 today.
What was that note on Tulowitzki?
Yeah, he came out of that game, that first game against the Yankees in that doubleheader they had today, when he got hit from behind from the center fielder. Pilar came in. Tulowitzki called a fly ball, but Pilar plowed into him, and there's might be a fracture in that left shoulder blade.
Yeah, I think that's the word. So 2 outs. One ball and no strikes. Top of the order with George Springer, who's 1 for 2 on the night. Had a 3rd inning single, shot one back up the middle. Giants lead the Padres in San Francisco 5-0. That's in the 5th inning. Line drive right at Crone at first base. And that is a gorgeous stroke by George Springer. 1-2-3, 5th inning. Angels stay on top.
Over the Astros in the bottom of the 5th inning, and let's take a look at tomorrow's pitching matchup, brought to you by Chevron. It is going to be a hot afternoon, therefore Mike Fiers will be going. Pitching pretty well of late. Going up against Andrew Heaney, the rookie left-hander for the Angels. He's got some pretty good numbers to start out his rookie campaign. That strikeout number for Fiers, 156.
With basically a fastball that's about 88 to 90 typically. Pretty amazing, and yet McCullers out here bringing the gas tonight. Has struck out just 1. Got Taylor Featherston to end the 2nd inning, or for the 2nd out of that inning. Top of the order, Cole Calhoun leads off, followed by Mike Trout and Albert Pujols. Nine RBIs from Mike Moustakas today. That's insane.
It's a good week.
That's a very good week. And that's a very good slider. 1-2 the count on Calhoun. Sit in 9 straight.
Bottom just dropping out of it. And McCullers has an elite fastball, a good slider, just needs to work on that third pitch. And we've seen the changeup a couple times. It's just if he could get that thing in for a strike, that would just make it a little bit tougher on hitters to sit on what he's got.
Calhoun just gets a piece of that fastball up and away. Calhoun has 3 home runs lifetime against Houston while hitting .256. 36 games now against the Astros. We've mentioned the 23 home runs for Calhoun. 15 of those coming right here in Anaheim this year. I would say overall a ballpark that would favor the pitchers. High chopper to first. Marwin charges, feeds onto Lance. Nicely done. And out number 1. Let's check in with Julia once again.
Hey guys, you talking about Lance's velocity being up tonight. He's really fresh, especially with all the rest that he's gotten, but he's really enjoying the opportunity to finish the season on just regular 5 or 4 days rest, pitching every 5th day for this team and in high pressure situations. He talked a lot about being rookies on this club. There's several rookies on this club, but that doesn't mean much. We've all pitched in really high pressured games in our careers. This one may be just a little bit bigger. Every time he goes out there, he's looking forward to them just getting bigger and bigger, and he's got that confidence that he needs to pitch well at this level.
Thanks a lot, Julia, as Mike Trout stands in 0 for 2 on his night. Seen that batting average drop to .291. It's a guy who's hit 9 home runs in 47 games against the Astros. Might be surprised to find that he's hit just .272 against Houston. .36 home runs a year ago for Trout in his MVP campaign. Boy. 3-1 the count. Pretty good looking pitch.
Yeah, I think Hank Conger's having a little bit of a conversation back there.
Well, Trout is just taking one pitch after another. And draws the walk. Free pass. Great speed aboard. 1 out. Albert Pujols comes to the plate. Go back to the first couple of seasons in the big leagues for Trout. He was close to automatic stealing bags and stole 49 in 2012. Down to just 10 bags this year.
Some people might attribute that to self-preservation.
Yeah.
But still, I don't think it's a stretch to have him still 20 easy on a season. As often as he's on base and as fast as he is.
Pujols late and fouls it on the right side. 0-2 the count. And with the numbers the Astros with this combination present with Hank Conger behind the plate, I'm stumped as to why the Angels aren't trying to run more. Albert Pujols, a former Rookie of the Year, a 3-time MVP. Hits it in the air down the left side. And Marisnik dives, can't get there. It's a ground rule double as it one hops over the wall. That'll stop Trout at third base. That's a break for the Astros. Just a ball hit off the end of the bat, but out of the reach of Jake Marisnik.
Not the best 0-2 pitch I've ever seen. Lance McCullers wanted to possibly bury that pitch waste one in an 0-2 count. The slider backs up into the barrel of Albert Pujols, a great hitter. You were talking about all the accolades he's earned over his career. He could still put the barrel on it.
18 doubles for Lance. Brent Strom, the pitching coach now, comes to the mound. And no lack of effort there by Jake Marisnick.
That was a leap of desperation for me. These guys realize how important these ball games are.
2-0 Angels. We're in the 5th inning.
Learned something today. That ball that Albert Pujols hit, one hopped into the stands pre-1930 in professional baseball. That would have been a home run.
Vincent Velasquez getting loose. Yeah, kind of dug up the forearm a little bit. I think Babe Ruth took advantage a few times on that. What was the ground rule at the time?
Yeah, but how? I mean, do you think it evened out when he was playing in places that didn't have fences or 25-foot high fences? And you know, I mean, wasn't Yankee Stadium about 520 to center field?
Yeah.
Polo Grounds when he came up.
Yeah, they had those very odd dimensions in the ballparks back then, and maybe so.
But it is interesting. That's a fact I did not know about.
Infield draws in as the first pitch is a strike. Breaking ball on David Murphy. Murphy 1 for 2 on the night. Right hand hitting C.J. Cron waits on deck. And now a little half swing. 0-2 the count on Murphy.
Well, that's because he got a heater at 97 miles an hour. Sensing some angst behind that pitch from McCullers. A little annoyed with himself. Knows that he needs this punch out right here, reaching back for a little bit extra.
Chopper to first. Marwin takes it in foul territory. Well, Mike Trout was coming instantly from third.
And one out with the runner at third. Usually that runner at third base is told go on contact. Telling you that the ball clubs are not afraid to make that second out at home plate, especially if you've got a trail runner behind you who will advance 90 feet.
Still 0-2. Popped up. Marisnick comes on. He throws very well. Trout doesn't even tag initially. That's a second out and a key one for Lance McCullers. And now with first base open, he faces C.J. Cron.
It was a great job by Lance McCullers. When you talk about getting a break with that ball bouncing into the stands, Lance McCullers taking advantage of it, getting that pop out. Trout unable to score. One more out to get.
Cincinnati down the Cardinals today. Twice. 4-2 in the opener, 5-1 in the nightcap. Got some teams making up rainouts around the major leagues. Breaking ball stays in. Cron single to start the 2-run second inning. Takes another ball. It's 2-0. That was the one where our strike zone showed certainly a pitch that could have been called strike 3 on a 2-2. He got one more offering after that, was called a ball and got a base hit.
That was one where the entire baseball was within our strike zone.
Yep.
And that just blows me away that a pitch can be made like that and not called.
And now 3-0. That slider getting away from Lance here. Switch hitting Eric Ibar waits on deck. And Tony Sipp. It's been a while since we've seen Tony up. Vince Velasquez, the right-hander. Right on the hands. Cron gets that green light on the 3-0. This will be the 97th pitch from Lance. And it results in the walk. That'll load him up. And now the pesky Eric Ibar comes to the plate. I don't know, kind of a weird night for me. I haven't felt like Lance McCullers has been wild tonight, and yet he's a couple of pitches away from 100 pitches, and we're just in the 5th inning.
These Angel hitters have gone from aggressive to patient against Lance McCullers, maybe realizing that Tom Howey on the home plate umpire is calling a tight strike zone, forcing McCullers to throw some pitches over the plate, not giving him the edges.
Conger has to block the slider. It's 1-0.
Good effort from Conger.
And now Lance falls behind 2-0. And Conger maybe just wanting to provide a second here for Lance.
No, he's trying to tell Lance to regroup. Focus on this hitter right now. All that aggression, all that anger that you have about a strike zone or about a missed pitch or a hit that found its way inside the line, throw all that out the window and focus on what's happening in front of you right now with Eric Ibar. You don't want to lose him. You don't want to walk in that run. Make a pitch right here. Get out of this inning.
Right there is Marisnick able to back and make the play. So Ibar stings it. Second time he's lined out to the outfield tonight. And that'll do it for the Angels. They leave 3 with 1 hit in the inning. Through 5, 2-0. Angels on top.
Young man Carlos Correa, it's been a rough night offensively for the Houston Astros, hitting the ball hard all over the place, but if it wasn't for this man, it might be a little bit different score, making a great play, shallow left field, a running catch on a scud from Albert Pujols, makes a strong throw, great dive and catch with 2 outs to end that inning right there. The young man plays both sides of the baseball extremely well.
The Astros just 3 hits yet to get on the board. We're in the 6th inning now. Altuve leads it off. He'll be followed by Correa and Gomez. Altuve 1 for 2 on the night. And then a play that's probably tough to size up how important it was, but he was caught stealing after being called safe at second. That back in the 1st inning. The review said he came off the bag, now flies out. 1 out in the 6th inning. And we check with Julia.
Kick off your weekends at Minute Maid Park every Friday night. Home game is followed by the best fireworks show in town, presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. And the next Friday night fireworks is Friday, September 18th, when the Astros take on the A's. For more information, visit astros.com/fireworks or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Thank you, Julia. You do it right, too, in Houston. Got to get these bats to bring some of the fireworks.
Man, you ain't lying.
Correa has walked and grounded out. That was a very nice play by Featherston, the second baseman, to get him to end the third inning. Ball hit quite sharply. Very different stuff between the two pitchers tonight. Santiago and McCullers, and yet Santiago, who I believe has hit 91, maybe just a time or two tonight, leading it 2-0 here in the sixth.
And some fans at home might be asking, are they pressing because this race is tight, a 1.5 game lead over the Texas Rangers. But I don't see them pressing. They are actually hitting the ball quite well tonight. They're just not being able to find the hole. There's been some plays made on their hits, but they've had some good at bats. I just don't know how to explain it. For whatever reason, when that gray uniform is on and the Houston Astros are wearing it, things just do not go their way. Hector Santiago has only struck out 2 Astros. Usually that's an easy thing for us to point to as far as the strikeout with the Houston Astros. When they're going bad, they punch out a lot. Today, only 2 punch outs. So that tells you they're having good at bats and they're putting the ball in play.
And both of those picked up by Jake Marisnick, who's not getting steady playing time, so kind of tough to assess. Hank Conger's hit it well twice.
Yep.
Flying to the wall in left field and then hitting a line drive that David Murphy made a really good play on.
Correa's ball to the second baseman, Featherston.
Heck of a swing here by Carlos Correa.
Man,
and again,
how many times can he get away with it?
Up to 93 right there.
Is that on the pitch or on the redirection? Because that ball is going to jump off of Carlos's bat. He has taken some good passes.
Carlos Correa getting his hacks. He had a couple of 0 for 4s coming into last night's game where he went 1 for 3. Had just 1 hit in 13 at bats in that Oakland series. I like seeing Carlos protect the strike zone. That pitch probably low, but there have been some of those at bats that he's left it in the umpire's hands. Two and 2 the count. 1 out in the sixth. 7th inning in Arlington. The Oakland A's lead over the Rangers 5-1. And now 3 and 2. It's just 80 pitches though for Santiago. Again, that good swing. Carlos just unable to center it up. Done a lot of centering against the Angels this year, though, hitting .345. Couple of home runs, 2 doubles, 6 RBIs in 7 previous games. On base percentage at .406. Carlos now wants a new bat.
I want to get one with a bigger barrel, fouling all these pitches off.
He's going to go put some of the Manny Mota stick on that handle. Now, I thought they had come out a few years ago, some years ago, and saying that you had to have your bats ready to go. Not true?
It lasts, I don't know. I mean,
I hear you.
Some of these baseball rules, you know how they are.
So they last
temperamental.
For 15 games, and then they get dropped.
Umpires get tired of calling them.
Pitch is crushed to left. Way out of here. Number 18 for Carlos Correa. You talk about no doubt shots.
It's his first hit off of Hector Santiago. Finally had an answer for that fastball that he'd been fouling off. 12 pitches in that at bat with all those foul balls. Worked the count to 3-2. He knew Hector Santiago was going to come after him with a heater, and he attacked it, crushed it. Break out the gummy bears. Let's go. We broke the seal.
You know, that's one of the really long home runs you'll see.
Oh, he pulled the string on him, and Carlos was up to it. Floated that little bit of a changeup in there, possibly. Unloaded on.
He certainly got the right bat for that swing. 2-1 now, the Angels lead it. You can almost see some of the Astros players, just a little bit of reverence with Carlos Correa, like, man, this guy is something special. Trevor Gott now gets loose, right-hander in the Angels' pen. Vince Velasquez continues to throw in the Astros' pen. Gomez will fly out to right field, second out of the inning. It'll bring up Jed Lowry. And just a peek at Carlos Correa in the dugout.
Well, I think when you, as a player, I had the chance to come up through the minor leagues with a guy named Vladimir Guerrero. And then watching him progress, get into the big leagues, and you talked about that reverence that guys develop. You play long enough and play around enough guys, you understand when certain guys are better than most. And I think that's what's going on, is there's that recognition that you're witnessing greatness in what Carlos Correa brings.
Drive to right center, Trout back, and he'll haul it in right at the wall. As you said, a lot of balls hit well, but the Astros finally get on the board as Carlos Correa launches number 18 of his career. 2-1 Angels.
Two to one here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Time now for an AT&T call to the bullpen. It's going to be Vince Velasquez coming in relief of Lance McCullers. Two young pitchers in the Astros organization coming up around the same time, doing good things. 15th appearance for Vince Velasquez, splitting time between starting and coming out of that bullpen. Doing a good job. 50 and 2/3 innings, 52 strikeouts. Got a good electric fastball. He's actually worked on a slider that has looked pretty good of late. But now it's up to the bullpen to hold this thing down, keep it right where it is, and allow those Astros to come back in this ballgame.
Another one of those youngsters that the Astros are seeing on the big league level this year. 95 on that first heater from Velasquez. He faces the 7, 8, 9 spots for the Angels here in the 6th. David Freese leads it off. A couple of hits on his night. So Lance McCullers goes just 5, but his stuff was exceptional. The Angels able to manage a couple of runs.
Well, Lance pitched well. He had to fight around some issues, but did a good job. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. We could talk about the velocity that kid brings. Only 1 strikeout in the game. So give credit to the Angels fighting for those 2.
McCullers leaves with an ERA at 3.10. Factor in that one real rough one that Lance had. And of course, you can't take those out. But he has shown that, for me, he's going to be one of the mainstays now, barring injury, for a good long while. Three and 2 the count on Freese.
I'm with you on that. Lance McCullers has pitched his way into that rotation for sure.
Where does Velasquez wind up? Is he going to be one of the rotation guys?
Well, that's the interesting thing. Do you move him back into that rotation?
Tough play on the backhand side for Correa. And coming up off the bag is the assessment. Marwin went up to get it when he came down too late.
Astros will be checking to see if he kept a spike on the bag to try and overturn this. Good job on the backhand. Carlos does so well as he gets to it, catches it with that right foot open, so he sees the ball all the way into his glove and then plants and throws. Good late life on that. Marwin is off the bag, and I believe that's the correct call.
It's an E6 for the moment.
Tough error because that's a good play.
Yeah.
The ball clearly beats him. It's just that inch that Marwin is off the bag.
So Freese reaches for the 3rd time tonight. It brings up the catcher Carlos Perez. A couple of ground outs, 1 producing a run. That was the 2nd Angels run in the 2nd inning. And that's the difference in the game right now. Velasquez can bring it. Yeah, I think a lot of that comes down to what you value. Is a starting pitcher more valuable than a guy out of the bullpen?
You got to look at your team needs too. Do they need that guy in that bullpen to back them up a little bit, or do they need to fill that rotation spot?
There goes the runner Freese as the pitch is fouled back. Maybe a little hit and run action for the Angels. Well, here's a question for you. As you look toward next year, do you definitely have a closer?
I think there's room for a closer. I think Gregerson has done a fantastic job. But you could improve on that. And if you did go out and get that closer, then that would back your bullpen up again and allow you to put Velasquez into a rotation spot.
Line drive to left. Falling Marisnick, and then somehow gets up to make the play. You talk about athletic ability. Jake Marisnick is absolutely loaded, and he needed every bit to make this play.
There's a little moment of panic right there. That's how you make routine plays look exciting. Hanging slider, Carlos Perez hits a laser to left. How did Jake get back up to make that play?
Not sure.
He snipers right there, goes down to a knee.
Look at the eyes staying on the baseball.
Look at the eyes. That's a look at sheer panic right there.
Boy,
that is not a good feeling.
Yeah, a whole lot could have gone wrong with that play. So one routine out here in the 6th inning. Brings up the 9-hitter Taylor Featherston. Yeah, and if you are unable during the offseason to find somebody that you deem to be your definitive closer, is it possibly Velasquez? 6-4 and 3. The Astros turn it. Correa, Altuve, and Marwin Gonzalez. And the double play ends the 6th inning. First double play of the night. We go to the 7th, a 2-1 Angels lead.
Top of the 7th. It's time to name that Astro. It's brought to you by your local Honda dealer, your Clues. He helped win the College World Series in '87, drafted by the Astros that year. He is Osuna, Stanford Cardinal. We asked AJ if he could get this. He struggled a little bit. He got it eventually, though.
Evan Gattis leads off here in the 7th inning. Tough play at short for Ibar, and he makes a gem. Evan Gattis robbed to start the inning, and a very big first out.
Seeing some good baseball. Seeing some good pitching. Guys making plays right in the thick of a pennant chase. Angels trying to fight their way back into this AL West. They are playing some incredible baseball.
Ibar's been doing it a good long while now for the Angels.
It's only the 4th ground ball out for Santiago. He's gotten 12 outs via the fly ball.
Yeah, because as we've talked about, just a couple of strikeouts tonight. Marwin Gonzalez is 0 for 2, lined out and popped out. A monster home run by Carlos Correa in the 6th inning. His 18th as a major leaguer. Marwin pops it up, shallow in center field. Mike Trout coming on and calling. 2 down in the inning. It brings up Hank Conger.
13th out in the air. Only 90 pitches for Hector Santiago.
Talked about his propensity for issuing walks, but just a couple of those tonight. Conger drives it to center field. Trout back at the track, looking up. See ya! Hank Conger with the long ball, and the Astros have caught him at 2. For Conger, that's number 11.
Panda Crusher getting after it. Revenge ABs. Yeah, showing a little emotion out there. Good to see from Hank Conger. Get your gummy bears in here. This ball's crushed. That's a tough part of the ballpark to go this deep. Up on the batting eye behind the shrubs.
Woo. Jake Marisnick at the plate has struck out twice. Yeah, that's the big fly. The Astros have hit 2 tonight, and both way more than legit.
Crushed the ball 3 times, only has 1 hit for it. Big one.
195 home runs for the Astros, second best. Toronto Blue Jays have become the juggernaut. There are the guys flexing their muscles tonight.
Man, we talked about it in the open, and how about it? The only 2 runs they've scored today have been on home runs. It's amazing.
Well, let's go get Jake on that list.
Wouldn't that be lovely? Make him the 12th guy on that Astros roster to have double-digit home runs and have it be a potential game-winning home run.
Count stays at 1-2. Or just go ahead and get on base for George Springer. This guy's had some big swings for the club this year. Keep in mind 2 grand slams for Conger. Mike Scioscia, longtime skip of the Halos.
Really shouldn't be shocked that the Astros have scored a run in the 7th. They just kind of take their time, hang out for a little bit, and show up in that last third of every game.
Started early tonight in the 6th inning. 3-2 the count now on Jake. George Springer waiting on deck.
Next pitch will be 100 for Hector Santiago. It's going to turn into a war of bullpens.
Well, that's what it is at this point in the 2-2 tie, no question.
Unless Jake jumps him.
Third time tonight for Jake Marisnick to go down on strikes. The Astros get a run on the Conger blast, and they've caught the Angels at 2.
yesterday with the loss and the Rangers win. 1.5 games. Astros back in this ball game trying to increase that lead, but good times creeping up in that AL West, coming down the stretch. Plenty of ball against those AL West teams too, but the Yankees losing a couple ball games. Rangers sneaking back into that wild card. The Twins. Who you got, Ash?
Who do I have?
Yeah.
I've got the Astros.
Believe it.
Absolutely.
Darn well better.
How about this Madison Bumgarner? Perfect through 7 for the Giants against the Padres. You got an answer for that guy, don't you? There's the Texas Rangers score, yeah. 5-1 Oakland A's. They trailed early 1-0, 8th inning now. And so we all become big Oakland Athletic fans. Astros go to the bullpen now as Will Harris comes on.
Will Harris, 57 appearances, doing a great job. Low whip, low ERA. Looking to hold this thing down. Tough part of this lineup, too, facing 1, 2, 3 for the Angels.
Cole Calhoun, 0 for 3. Angels got their 2 runs in the 2nd inning. They put together 3 consecutive hits, 1 a double and a ground out that produced a run. Led it 2-0 until Carlos Correa hit a mammoth shot to left field in the 6th inning, his 18th home run, a solo job. Made it 2-1, and then Hank Conger flexed on one in the 7th inning, driving one to center, even right center a bit. And we're all even at 2. This one's hit pretty well to center field. Gomez at the wall makes a play. Though Calhoun drives it, he's 0 for 4. And Carlos Gomez having some fun in center.
Good job getting back on that ball. Struck well. Good job. That's pretty tough to do. Go running back straight over your head, track the ball, watch out for the wall. Still have the speed to get back there, too.
Mike Trout finally swings at an early strike and drives it to the gap. He's into second easily. 1 out double, second time he's reached tonight. And now Albert Pujols comes to the plate. Double number 26 for Trout.
It's pretty much center cut. I'm sure Mike Trout, who's got great numbers early in his career, had a plan to go up there, and if he gets a fastball in the strike zone, to go ahead and attack it. And that he did. I think the only benefit is that ball's still in the ballpark.
Albert Pujols is 2 for 3 on his night, a single and a double. .249 that batting average. Mike Trout came into action tonight, 1 extra base hit shy of becoming the 5th player ever with 300 extra base hits through a 23-year-old season. That's what Mike Trout is. And so he has become that guy. 5th player ever to reach 300 extra base hits, and he's still just 23 years of age. Seventh inning, a 2-2 ball game. There's the bottom of the knees. Ball and a strike on Albert.
It's nasty. Good location to go to.
And another one.
Doesn't get much better than that in the last 2 pitches. Outside, low and away corner, down and in. How about the location? Spotting up Hank Conger nicely. Those are two beautiful pitches. Don't give in now. Just keep being aggressive down in that zone.
555 career home runs for Albert Pujols.
Talked about David Ortiz hitting 2 home runs to get to 500 today. Last guy to do that standing in the box right now.
David Ortiz hit 2 to get to 500 today, and same story for Albert Pujols. Springer backing. He'll make the catch. Second out. Trout tags and easily moves to third. So he's 90 feet away now as the cleanup man. David Murphy will come to the plate. It's just tough night after night, isn't it? You tell yourself you're going to play them one at a time, and almost every one will take you tooth and nail.
Don't you miss that part?
Oh, yeah. How about that pitch? Was that outside? Because that sure appeared to be at the knees. Yep.
Just off.
Tom Hallion dead on the money here in the inning. Ball and a strike. Will Harris. Been bringing it all year long. 93 miles an hour.
You see average against Will Harris this season?
It's insane.
160 batting average against Will Harris. Waiver claim. Just a reminder. Good stuff.
Last year it was Tony Sipp.
Yeah. Colin McHugh.
Colin McHugh, who just keeps on winning. Line drive to left. Marisnick with a heck of a play. Had to come in and over toward the line and able to haul in the line drive. And that'll do it for the Angels. Anything but a ho-hum 7th inning. Through 7, we're tied at 2.
The game. Carlos Correa, 12 pitch at bat. Switched up bats in the middle of that AB. Pulled the right one out, barreled that one up, and blasted it over both bullpens in left field here at Anaheim, which is not easy to do. And then Hank Conger. 3 well-struck baseballs in his 3 at bats. This is the only one he gets credit for. Deep into the night in center field. Earned himself some gummy bears. I wonder if they're panda gummy bears. But either way, score is tied 2-2 on those 2 bombs from the Houston Astros, who love to hit them some home runs.
And now right-hander Joe Smith comes on to pitch for the Angels. He'll face the top of the order, George Springer, Jose Altuve, and Carlos Correa.
Plenty of appearances for Joe Smith, making his 64th tonight. Side armor brings that running fastball. It doesn't sink too much. It runs in on the hands of right-handed hitters. A little bit of a slider. See if Carlos can get up under one in this inning with some runners on.
George Springer is 1 for 3 tonight. Took a fine play at shortstop to get him in the first inning. He singled in the third and then lined out. He went right on the screws in the 5th inning. Little tapper as he's thrown out by the catcher Perez. 1 up, 1 down here in the 8th inning. Let's check in with Julia again.
Thank you, Ash. Join the Astros Saturday, September 19th as they take on the A's. 10,000 fans will receive an Evan Gattis bobblehead presented by AT&T. For more info, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Evan Gattis bobblehead. To look at the beard all year long. Jose Altuve's 1 for 3. Look back to the first inning. He took off after the single and stole second, but called safe, popped up off the bag. The tag was maintained down there, and after a review, he was called out, and rightly so.
There's going to be a lot of sliding practices around Major League spring trainings next year. Teaching them to slide and stay on the bag.
Shot down the line. This is in for extra bases. Up against the wall, Altuve with his second hit of the night. He's 2 for 4 with a double. And 1 out for Carlos Correa. We'll see how Mike Scioscia decides to handle this one.
That's right. Altuve's wheelhouse. He might have been looking up out over the plate on that outside corner, but when he sees that fastball and recognizes it's sinking right back to him, he knows when to turn on it.
30 doubles for Jose. And they're going to go after Correa. 1 for 2. Well, he no sooner changed that bat last at bat, and he found the right piece of wood.
It's crazy how that works out, isn't it?
It was a mammoth shot. Any inclination whatsoever to have Altuve on the move at any time here? Altuve, you can see he did the little stopwatch thing. He wants to know a time on Joe Smith.
It's good knowledge. All of that is information that helps these guys advance their ball game.
He was looking at Rich Dower, the first base coach, and first base coaches always have those stopwatches. These guys know to the 10th of a second exactly what it takes. Correa takes the slider. It's 1-2.
Pretty nasty slider. Drop down frisbee. But you can't pick a better location.
Bottom of the 9th now. Texas trailing 5-1 to the A's. Just fighting it off. Correa stays alive.
You got to remember that Carlos Correa is facing a lot of these guys for the first time. He hasn't had much experience against a lot of these pitchers at the big league level. That's what makes what he does that much more impressive to me, because of that. It's not the lack of knowledge, it's just a lack of experience. He's got the tools to adapt to what these guys are pitching to him. That's why I think it's interesting to watch how he sees a guy like Joe Smith. Maybe it takes him that one time to see that slider and that release point from Joe Smith, allowing him to recognize it a little bit earlier next time he sees it.
Carlos Correa didn't come to the Astros until June 8th and now has 18 home runs.
Yeah, he's creeping up on that rookie home run list for the Houston Astros real quick. Lance Berkman, I believe, is the guy who set the record for the Houston Astros for a rookie. 21 home runs. George Springer's on that list. He hit 20.
Just trying to protect, comes up empty. And a big strikeout of Correa. That's the second out of the inning. And now Carlos Gomez stands in.
Great pitch. After that slider was on the outside corner, you kind of got the feeling that Carlos Correa was leaning out over the plate, not wanting to be beat by that slider. And I agree with you, Ash. That swing right there was just to protect and hopefully foul it off.
By the way, Correa waited till his second major league game, June 9th, to hit his first home run. Also homered in his very first home game, that against Seattle, June 12th. So, some pretty good theatrics to go along with a lot of great baseball. Tapper to short. Ibar makes the play to get Gomez, and that'll do it. One out double by Altuve is stranded. To the bottom of the eighth we go, still tied. Presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. Two-two tie here in Anaheim. Game 2 of the 3-game set. The Astros with a couple of home runs tonight for their runs. C.J. Cron leads off the 8th, and he'll do it against Will Harris on for a second inning. San Diego Padres have finally picked up a base hit against Madison Bumgarner. That game in San Francisco, they're in the 8th inning. Melvin Upton Jr.
Get it right.
You can call him BJ if you want. Picked up a base hit as a pinch hitter. Drive left center field. This one's deep. This one's out of here. And the Angels take the lead in the 8th inning on the home run by C.J. Cron. His 12th of the year. So the leadoff man in the 8th inning slams one for the Angels, and they take the lead. They're first of the night.
C.J. Cron bringing the hands in and getting the barrel on that one. I thought that was a pretty good pitch. C.J. Cron had an answer for it.
So Will Harris gets touched here in the 8th inning. Eric Ibar at the plate. Got a double as he slapped one over the third base bag in the second inning. Since then has lined out twice. Tries to bunt his way aboard. Well, we haven't seen Will Harris give it up very much this year, that's for certain.
That is the truth. Again, only a solo blast, but considering the situation, that's a big one.
6th home run allowed by Harris on the season. He's over 60 innings. That's still a good figure. Got him looking at the knees, outside edge. Out number 1 in the 8th inning. Just the second strikeout against the Angels tonight.
Good pitch. Now we'll look at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Progressive. Day game tomorrow here in Anaheim before heading on the plane out to Arlington, bringing it back into the state of Texas for the battle for the Silver Boot and the AL West.
David Freese comes to the plate, 2 for 3. Couple of singles. He's also reached on an error. The only error of the night, a throwing error charged to Carlos Correa. So the Astros are going to have to see some offense in the 9th inning. They've got the 5, 6, and 7 spots coming up. Jed Lowry, Evan Gattis, and Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin goes to the bag, second out of the 8th.
The most popular way to follow the action of Astros baseball is with MLB.com at bat. The #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get the MLB.com at bat app now.
Chad Qualls loosening in the Astros pen as Carlos Perez stands in. 1 ball and no strikes. Houston Street, the closer, is getting it loose for the Halos. And Street picked up a save in last night's game. Is there room for Marwin? Nope. 3-4 rows back. So Melvin Upton breaks it up for Madison Bumgarner, who had El Perfecto working into the 8th inning. Three and 1 the count.
Big number right there, Ash. Look on the screen. 5-3. Oakland beats Texas.
Final in. So the Rangers drop one tonight. They're even at a game apiece in that series with the Oakland A's. Two-out walk to Perez brings up Featherston.
Gallardo taking the loss for Texas, giving up 5 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings.
Brett Strom coming out to the hill.
This might be a little bit of a breather, just to have a chat with Will Harris, but going 2 innings in this outing right here, trying to get through it.
Oliver Perez is also getting up and loosening in the pen, and I wonder if this is one of those time buyers as well, where if Featherston should reach the left-hand hitting Calhoun coming to the plate, if they want to make sure they've got Oliver Perez ready to go. Leadoff home run by C.J. Cron here in the 8th inning. And the Angels have that 3-2 lead. Featherston 0 for 3 on the night.
See that last pitch? Man, the upper part of the zone is non-existent.
Not in my strike zone. I wonder, is it the old Bruce Fremming line? Bruce would say that's not my strike zone.
Bruce was good people.
Drive to left center field, long run, Marisnik. He'll get there and make the play. Jake has been all over out there in left field. Featherston flies out to end the 8th inning, but the home run by Cron has the Angels on top 3-2.
Of the 9th inning. Got some changes, but we've got, stay tuned for the Astros post game presented by Houston Methodist with Bart Ennis and Mike Stanton hanging on to bring you all the action and highlights from tonight's ball game.
Changes for the LA Angels here in the 9th inning now as they bring on Houston Street to close things out. They've got Navarro at first base defensively taking over for Cron. Coward is now the third baseman for the Angels. And one more in left field, Colin Cowgill will take over for David Murphy. Astros need a little big O here in the 9th inning.
It's going to be tough to get it with Houston Street out there, the closer for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Picked up the save last night. Back on to do the same thing here. 34 saves on the season for Houston Street.
Guy with some Texas flavor. Jed Lowry, Evan Gattis, and Marwin Gonzalez for Houston here in the 9th inning. The Rangers have lost. The Astros want to get it going, but this rocket hauled in by Navarro, the defensive replacement, And a key first out in the inning. If that ball gets down the line, you're talking at least a double.
No doubt about it. This is why defensive substitutions are made. Navarro, right man, right spot. Good pickup on the laser off of Jed Lowry.
One out for Evan Gattis. In that Oakland win over Texas, big 3-run home run by Mark Canha. Danny Valencia also homered, a 2-run shot. And those two guys gave the Astros plenty of fits, so not bad to see that. Oh, 0-1 the count on Evan. Has to be a lot of concern right now on the ball club. Oh, 2.
Well, the only thing you got going for you is that Texas lost. They're not going to lose any ground. It's going to stay the same as it is. If there is a silver lining in any of this.
Well, if the Angels do win, they're 3.5 back. And they come into Houston 3 more games. So, yeah, it just gets tighter.
Yeah, I think as a division leading team, you really only look at that one team that's directly behind you. There are teams gaining, like the Angels are, but until they take over second place, the main concern are those Texas Rangers, and they have a chance to deal with them later in this week.
4 big games coming up in Arlington as Evan Gattis is down on strikes. Second out of the inning now. Nobody on for Marwin Gonzalez.
So that split finger from Houston Street. Bottom drops out of it.
Marwin's 0 for 3. One of the guys with double-digit dingers. And has come up with some very big hits for the club. The Astros need one desperately right now. Ten home runs, 18 doubles, a triple for Marwin. And now an 0-2 count.
Trying to tie it up with that swing.
Angels fans coming to their feet. Should Marwin reach, it's Hank Conger waiting on deck. Hank has one of the 2 home runs tonight. He and Carlos Correa have gone yard. 2-2. Tense in the dugout, no doubt. Boy, shot there in the dugout of Jed Lowry, who came so close to possibly leading this inning off with an extra base hit. Maybe not a bad thing seeing the smiles.
Well, you know what that is. He looked over at Dave Hudgens and goes, "Isn't hitting so much fun?"
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have to just show a little bit of humility about it and just laugh it off. Because you know you did everything right. The guy just made a play. You just hit it right at somebody. And we've seen a lot of that tonight from the Houston Astros offense. A lot of well-struck baseballs just right at guys.
Got him. Down on strikes, Marwin Gonzalez. A couple of strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning by Houston Street as he picks up another save. The Angels, with that home run by C.J. Cron, come up with a big 3-2 victory and have taken the first 2 games of this series. It's time now for the Mako big hit of the game. C.J. Cron with that home run in the 8th inning.
Will Harris working in that second inning, tried to get a fastball inside on C.J. Cron. Pulled the hands in nicely and drove it for a big home run.
So you see the Angels celebrating. 3-2 that final tonight.